I'm going to create a game of chess 960, 3 minutes. I've said 1600 or plus for my opponent's rating. I'm just over 1900. It's a very wide margin there. If I don't get a game, if there's nobody around, I'll just do some puzzles. I might actually just do a game of regular Blitz if there's nobody there for the chess 960. Just do a quick pairing for Blitz. Oops, I've got my sound turned down low. Okay, comes forward. I think I'll advance there rather than taking. Right, now I'll take in castle. Okay, so if the pawn comes I can push. So we're going to see f5 coming. It's whether I want to play a knight in and sack it for a bishop. So let's just wait for the f5 to come, play the knight forward, sack the pawn to get the bishop off the board. So now I think I'll take this way as well. Right, now the knight can come in. So he's got pawn down to hit the rook, but I might give up the rook for bishop, because that's his defending piece. So it might be worth doing anyway. Don't mind if he takes a course, but I think I'll just move the rook across. Okay, kicks the knight. Now is there a tactic there? I don't think that works, so... Okay, can trade, can drop back. I think I'll just drop back. Okay, he goes after the pawn with the rook. So I'm going to just press ahead to try and open this up. The intention was to always just accept that that pawn's going and just open the files up. If he advances I get the knight back in. Obviously pre-move in case he takes. Okay, so I've got the option to take. This pawn's a little bit loose, it's only got a knight there. So let's take. Put a rook on the open file. He moves. Okay, I'm going to bring the bishop over, maybe tempt him forward. Maybe I should play a holding move as well. Give the king an escape square, so he does come forward. Actually, I'm going to stay on this diagonal now. Knight up. So I've got pawn forward, but he can still come down. Actually, I can go forward there. If he comes, I can take, because there's a fork on the rook at the end. So I'm pretty sure this is safe to take, because the rook's loose. I'm hitting the queen on the rook as well. So if he doesn't take, I win material anyway. So I think that's definitely a blunder. Right, so he takes, so we hit the rook. Now he's going to grab the pawn, so I've got rook across. Actually, I think bishop up, and then there's the threat here of checkmate, so he's got to do something about that. But equally, no, he's missed it. Just missed it. Easily done, but very good win. Oops, I've got my sound down a bit low. Okay, we'll take that. We take that and take the knight first. Just ignores it. So he's looking to try and get a knight down to come in here. So I'm going to take. Actually, have I got a fork there? If I fork, he's got to take a take, and if he takes, queen up isn't a check, it's covered. So fork, he's got to take, he wins a pawn. So I'm just going to cast, it doesn't quite work. Oh, it just comes in, okay, I don't see the purpose of that move. So I'm looking at maybe queen up. Okay, so he's still trying to come in with the fork. So have I got knight up now? I think knight up's playable here. So threaten mate and hit the pawn. So we've got a twin attack threat. It comes forward, that's the queen. Still threatening to go in. That's an excellent win, excellent. Okay, adventurous. Oh, he comes forward, okay. I think I'll play a pawn up there. If he takes, I can maybe take. He might play a bishop up, then I can grab a pawn. Got to be careful he doesn't have tricks like this at some point. Oh, but now he's dropped the queen back. He might be looking at this still. I'm going to try and open it up. Again, he still might be looking at getting in here, but I think I'm okay. I might be wrong, but I think I'm okay. If we take, I think I can take. So hit the queen and bishop, hit the pawn. So I think I can grab the pawn, can I? Castles. So take. I can't quite take there. Yeah, I can take there, and if he takes, I get a knight check. Hit the queen, so he's got to take. Right, so actually, no, let's stay centralised. I want to get the knight out if I can. I might just plant the bishop in the middle. Clearly I don't care if he takes this, I want him to take, he's done that. You just get the knight up, it's just about developing. I've maybe got a queen check, or rook check. This should be good enough to win the game now, but they're never over at my level till they're actually over. So I've got a queen check, a rook check. Get the queen out of harm's way. If I get the queen off the board, then clearly it's won. So checking he's got king there, which I don't want. Ah, yes I do. If he goes there I can pin the queen. Just pin the queen and that's good enough to win. Just drop back, hit the pawn. There's no real threat against my king now. It is possible to lose these positions, but you'd have to try to lose them, of course. Just whip the knight off. Now I don't want to mess this up, but there's a good checkmate, very good win. Who wants a rematch? Okay. Let's go g6. I'm going to do the same on this side. Okay, let's just trade a set of knights. Then I'll drop back. Actually, let's go forward first. Just got to be careful about getting a bishop trapped. Right, complete minor piece development, trying to swing the knight over. Okay, I grab the pawn. Now clearly I'm not going to keep that pawn, that's temporary. There's a target square there, can I get to it? I can kick the rook and maybe push there. If he takes I can grab the pawn. Of course, if I push, that's certain to be lost. Let's just play queen up and pressure the pawn. So if I take, he's got rook across. I can't keep the pawn, so I'm just going to like press him forward a bit. So let's swing the knight over, hit the bishop. Do I want to take? Knight in is not quite playable. So let's push the pawn. Oh, I'm getting low on time again. I'm well down on time. Okay. Let's take. Hit the rook and try and push the pawn. Pin the knight. Hope there's no tactic there. That's a good move. That's annoying. Let's play a rook across while I try and work out a plan. I'm not sure there is a plan. If the rook wanders off, there's maybe queen takes, but obviously the rook and the rook cover the queen for now. It's hard to work out any ideas here. I'm going to play forward. If he takes, I'll go this way. Oh, knight forward. So my bishop hangs, so it's a very good move, so he's done well there. So I've lost an exchange. I think I've got to go for this. Now I can at least take there and get a check. Ah, but he's got rook across the block, that's not so good. Let's play the queen right up and try and go around the back. Okay, I can't keep that pawn, so I'm going to play the rook across. Pressure this pawn. So I should be lost this game. If he takes and rook across, he can just come to the back rank, can't he, anyway? So I'm hoping if he takes, I can maybe then throw in a queen check and pick up this middle pawn. Whether I can or I can't, I don't know. So he's played down. So again, we're threatening to take the middle pawn. Oh, check doesn't quite work, does it? But if I take, I've got to check to win the queen. Yeah, I can take, because if he takes, I've got to check. Pick up the queen, but then he would get the 2 rooks. So it'd be queen for 2 rooks if he takes. I shouldn't have pre-moved there, should I? I just realised, just in case. If I can get that pawn, I'm alright, but... Oh, I've dropped the queen, he can just take it. What have I done? He just missed the fact that I'd hung the queen. It's rook was hitting it. Wow. I'm trying to get a pawn there and go for a repetition. Should I offer a draw? He's got to be careful now he's split the rooks. Wow, repetition, got away with one. Right, I'm just going to play 1 or 2 games of 3-minute Blitz. I think I'll play a Caracan. Okay, goes this line. I think I'll just play knight up. You know, I could hit the bishop there. So let's just keep it simple for now. I might castle queenside here. Yeah, I'm going to try and maybe castle queenside with the f-file being open. Let's play up. So we're threatening to take and grab a pawn. We're lined up to castle queenside. This pawn might fall in any event. Okay, so I can take, grab the pawn. So I'll do that. If he blocks the check with a bishop, then the other bishop might fall. There's no bishop discovery on my queen. So he can block, then I can maybe grab this pawn, hit the rook. Lose a knight, gain a rook, lose a pawn. It could be dangerous still. So we're going to enter this sharp line. Now I'm hoping he goes this way, and then I can still castle long. I think I'd prefer that of the 2 options. As long as there's no... Oh, he advances now. I didn't expect that. Now, can I grab the pawn? Is it risky? I'm going to grab the pawn anyway. Hit the rook and threaten to take with a check. Hit the bishop. Okay, so I can sidestep. There's no easy bishop check. I can grab the pawn. I've got to take it, I think. I think I've got to take. Just hope I'm not falling for a tactic somewhere. If I get the queens off the board, then clearly I'm better. If I get castle, get the king safe, then I should be better. Now, queen comes up, so he's inviting me to castle. Rook takes. There's immediate threats to mate. So again, I can put the knight back. Actually, have I maybe got bishop up to pin the bishop, or knight over hit the queen and bishop? Yeah, I'm protecting the pawn, and if he takes, I take with a check, and I get one of his pieces off, then I'll castle kingside. So I've got the check in. So now I've maybe got queen back threatening a check, king up. I can just castle, I can castle. He takes, I can pin the rook. But then there's still a mate threat. If I go this way, there's a threat coming on the corner, but it's got to be the safer option, I think. It's got to be safer to castle. Then maybe try and get the queen back. Just I can see ideas like this coming. Still a bit risky. So he's gone after the pawn. So I've got to push the pawn, I think. Now. Oh, I've dropped a piece. I've dropped a piece. What have I done? Wow, I just completely lost the plot. Lost my concentration. Oh, now this game is back in the mix, so... Okay, I've got to try and get the rooks doubled up. I should have gone here really there, but this is really in the mix now. Wow, terrible lapse in concentration, terrible. So if the bishop moves, I've maybe got a check unless he goes back. Can he get away with that? Surely he can't get away with that. Takes, queen takes, takes, rook check isn't on. Wow. How's he got away with that? But the queen has to guard the bishop unless he wastes a move moving it. Oh, that just loses the queen. That's just a good win in the end. Let's stick to knight f3. Okay. I'm just going to develop so I can castle. Now, do I want to take, do I want to leave it? If I take, it frees him up a lot of space, I think I'll ignore that. I'm going to drop back, maybe get the knight to move and hit his knight. So right now the knight's short of square, so if I drop back I might be able to take and double the pawns. Or I could even go this way, protect this pawn, prepare to come to the king's side. So he's played pawn forward, so still not cleared the knight. If I drop back, takes, I'd rather leave the knight then, take with the knight I think. So the knight drops back, takes, pawn takes. I don't love this move, but I'm going to play the pawn up. Okay, so he hits the knight. Okay, I think I will take that. I'm going to drop the knight back and stick to the plan and try and get rid of this knight. Even though it's kind of out of the game, I want the option to get rid of it and mess the pawns up. Okay, he's lining up to take. Take the bishop, take the knight and get him an isolated pawn. Yeah, I'm going to go that way, give him the isolated pawn. So f4 is playable. Actually, I'm going to bring the knight back to this side now and prepare to go forward. Oh, he just takes. Okay, that's a surprise. The queen up to hit the pawn. Comes forward, the pawn's covered. If he comes down, I think I can afford to take here. And maybe, can I play queen back? I think I can play queen back, and then maybe queen across. Bishop down isn't playable. Queen across is. Bishop down led to checkmate. Right, so now I've got the option to take. So what I'm looking at is take, pawn up, and if takes, rook up, threaten to go across. That's the idea. Oh good, I'm a minute down on the clock. A minute down on the clock. So queen up, pawn up doesn't quite work. Clearly I can't afford to think too much. Nope, that's not good. I've got a checkmate threat there. It's easy to miss something like that. I don't think you will, but it's easy to. And he did. He missed it. Excellent.